Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Hi students, in this session we are going to talk about the different plant parts and animal products we are using as food. So now let's start by understanding what are the different plant parts that we are using as food. Before that, let's see what are the different parts of a plant. We know that plant consists of a root, it has stem, it has leaves, flowers and fruits. All these parts are used as food by us. In different parts of the world, different things are eaten as your food. So we know that these all parts, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. There are 5 main parts of a plant and all these 5 parts are used as food. If one of the part maybe in one plant, say root is important, in another plant stem is used as food, in some of the plants leaves, in then another flowers and fruits. In very few plants there are ingredients wherein both more than one part, that is maybe root and stem both are edible, then maybe your stem and leaf are edible, so on and so forth. In some of the plants are such that all the parts of that plant is edible and is useful for us in one or the other way. We use plant parts not only as food but also as spice, but also as medicine and different other things. So plant plays a very important role for us, for our food requirements, also for different other our requirements, say medicine, also for our say spices. So now let's take up the parts one by one and understand that how we are utilizing and what are the different examples of that particular part. So now let's say root. So we know that for root, what is a root? It is a part of the plant which holds down the plant into the earth. Also, it provides water and minerals to the leaves for their photosynthesis or for making their own food. So the roots are one of the very important parts of a plant, and the roots which are edible for us, which we can eat, are your sweet potato, radish, carrot, and there are different other roots as well. How is it that we are able to eat the roots of these particular plants and not of the others? The reason is the food is stored. Whatever food is made by the plant is being stored in the roots. As you can see how thick this radish is and the carrot and your sweet potato is. The reason is that whatever the food these leaves are making, they are storing it inside the root, right? And that is why the root is becoming thicker and thicker, and that's why it is edible, because the whatever food, the carbohydrate or whatever it is making, the food the particular plant is making, it is being stored in the root, and that is what we are eating. Moving on, the other part that we have or we utilize for eating habits is stem of a particular plant. So what are those? We eat potato, we use the sugar cane for taking out juice and making sugar. Then we use asparagus, we eat asparagus as salad, also in different kinds of curries. So asparagus again is a stem of that particular plant. The potato is your modified stem, right, which is again used as food, right? Then from the sugar cane we obtain juice which is converted into sugar, right? And asparagus we are using as salad, right? And so on. So we use different kinds of stem of the plants for our food. Then we have leaves. Again, leaves are rich in mineral and they are very rich in your vitamins, and that is why they eat lot of green vegetables. We always suggest people to have green leafy vegetables because they are really healthy, because they are rich in minerals and they are rich in vitamins. What are the different leaves that we are eating on our daily basis? One is your fenugreek leaves. These are, in Hindi we call them methi. And then we have spinach leaves, that is palak, and we have lettuce leaves. These are used as mostly they are used as salads. They are eaten raw, right? So all these leaves are the rich source of vitamins and minerals, right? So we eat lot of leaves because they are really healthy for us, and they prevent us from having any kind of deficiency disease. Then moving on, we have flowers that we eat. What are the different kinds of flowers that we are eating? One, we have broccoli. Everybody must have heard of this particular vegetable. It is not actually a vegetable, but it is a flower that we are eating as a vegetable, right? So we have a flower, broccoli. Then we have cauliflower. Again, that is also flower. Then we have artichoke. All these are your flowers which we are eating in our different ways, either as your salad or as a curry. In different ways we are eating flowers of a plant. Then fruits. Again, there is a major misconception that fruits like mango and apple are categorized as fruit, but biologically speaking, brinjal or your eggplant is a fruit. Then okra, that is a lady finger, is a fruit. Also your cucumber is a fruit, right? So even your tomato is a fruit, right? So anything which has seeds in it, any food that you are eating which has got seeds in it is basically a fruit. So as you see, okra has got certain seeds in this. Then you see cucumber also has seeds. Even brinjal has seeds. So any food, that you are eating, whether it is in the form of a curry, if it contains seeds, that means that is a fruit. So we are also eating fruits. Then what else we are eating? We are eating seeds. What are the different seeds that we are eating on daily basis? We are eating rice, we are eating maize, then coconut again is a seed, then you have gram, right? So different other pulses, right? All these are your seeds that we are eating, right? So if we talk about coconut, this also gives us oil, right? So we see how, and even wheat for that matter is a seed, right? So all these are the seed. Usually the grains that we call, these seeds are usually known as your grains that we are eating are nothing but the seeds, right? Also the pulses that we are eating are also seeds. So now let's see some other types of plants in which more than two parts are utilized. For one of the examples is banana, right? So in banana, we know this is the part, that is the fruit that we utilize for eating, right? We know that, okay, this is something which we are eating in our daily lives. Then apart from that, flowers are also edible, as well as stem is something which is also edible. So you can see that in banana plant, we have 1, 2, and 3 parts which are useful for us, which we are eating in our day-to-day lives. There is another example, that is again pumpkin, which is in which you have most of the parts that are edible. That means that you can eat them in your daily life, right? So one is definitely the fruit which is there, the pumpkin fruit that you can eat. Apart from that, the flowers are also edible. You will usually find, if you go to the market, you will find that people are actually selling pumpkin flowers, right? So you can actually cook them and eat them, right? So this is again the second thing which is edible in the pumpkin plant. And then definitely there are pumpkin seeds which are edible. Now these are the example in which we see there are more than 2 things or more than 2 parts of the plants which are edible, right? Apart from that, we have the example of coriander, wherein we have the coriander seeds which we utilize for spices, for making spices. And then also we have coriander leaves which we utilize in our food requirements. Then also apart from that, we have mustard. That plant also provides us with oil yielding mustard seed, and also the leaves are utilized for the food material. So in this way we see that there are different kinds of plants which offer different parts for our usage, right? For example, like I told you, banana, pumpkin, mustard, coriander, and you can make a list of different plants which are providing more than one part which is edible, right? Another activity in which we are going to use moong dal. Now you must have seen this at your homes. Apart from that, we can also use gram, that is in Hindi we call it kala chana. What we are going to do is, the very first step is to keep these gram and this moong dal in water, keep in water overnight, right? So we are going to dip it in the water and we are going to keep it for the whole night. Once we have done this, the second step would be to wash this moong dal or gram, whichever you've used, and keep it in a wet cloth, right? So wrap the moong dal in a cloth
And what you have to do is you have to keep this cloth wet. It shouldn't be dripping, it should be moist, right? So we can write down, instead of a cloth, we can write down moist cloth, right? So please remember that it is very important to keep the cloth moist, so that enough water is present for the moong dal or the gram, whichever you've used, right? For both of these seeds it should be present. Then what will happen? Now what will happen, you open after, you can again keep it for overnight or a day, right? You have to keep it for a day and then open it, right? When you open the clothes, you might find these white color structure that might have come out of the moong dal. This is called as the sprouts, and the process is these are known as the sprouts, this white color structure, and we say that the moong dal has sprouted, right? So sprouting is seen. This process is known as sprouting, where the this whitish structure comes out of the moong dal. If suppose after keeping for a day this has not occurred, if you are not able to see any sprouts, what you can do is you can take out the moong dal and you can wash it with the clean water. It is important to keep the dal clean, right? So wash it with the clean water and then again wrap it into this moist cloth and keep it for another day. In 2 days time, you will see that this sprouting has taken place. These sprouts are very healthy and you can eat them either by boiling and adding spices to it, and also you can eat it raw by adding say tomato and onions in this, and some of the salt and some other spices. So the sprouts are formed in the case of gram and moong dal, and different other pulses also. You can see there are different pulses where you might find the sprouting taking place, right? So in this activity we have what we have created. We have created another food item which we also call as the sprouts, and this particular food item is quite healthy, right? So perform this activity, students, and you might have also seen this particular type of activity at your homes. Your mother must be making all of these things, and you can also do it. It's quite an interesting activity, and it will help you in obtaining a very healthy food.
Now let's move on to another source of the food that we have is the animal products, right? So we know, as we have already discussed, that apart from plants, animals are also a major source of the food. Different animal products are used as food. One of the product that is majorly used all over the world is your milk, right? So we all drink milk. Even the children, small children are drinking milk. Even adults, everybody drinks milk, because milk is considered to be a complete food, right? So milk is used worldwide for your nutrition and your food. So what are the different animals that are used for the milk? One, we know that cow, we have buffalo, then we have goat. In deserts, usually people drink the milk of a camel. In mountain ranges, people also drink the milk of a yak, right? So milk is your complete food, which is used as a food in various parts of the world, or rather I should say in all over the world. So what different milk producing animals are reared and they are used to take milk, right, to obtain milk. Then, so what is the other thing that we obtain as food? We obtain meat. So we have different kinds of meat producing animals also. One is the goat. We know that men in all over the world, people eat meat of goat. Then you have your hen or chicken. Then you have your fish, that is your sea food. So what are the seafood that you're eating? One is the fish. Then you have crab. People also eat lobster and different other things. So lobster and different other things. So we see that how we are dependent for our meat requirements on the animals. The meat is another product which we obtain from the animals. Apart from meat, from fishes we also get a particular kind of oil which we call as the cod liver oil, right? So that is also obtained from the animal, that is specifically from the fishes. Then again you have egg producing animals. These are usually your birds, right? These are the birds, also known as the poultry birds, right? So these are the birds which we rear to get animals, like your hen. then you have turkey, duck. All these are the birds which are being reared for the food. Apart from the egg, turkey is also reared for their meat, right? So we have different egg producing animals. Then apart from that, we have marine food, right? Like I said, seafood. What is that? Different kinds of fishes that we have, like mackerels, tuna, rohu. All these fishes are being eaten as food. Then different kind of other organisms like your shrimp, you have lobster, you have crab. In many parts of the world, mainly in Southeast Asia, you will find that people also eat octopuses, squids, and different other kinds of food from the sea. Mainly you will find that people, those who are living, all the population that is living near the coastal areas, are more dependent on the marine food. So the food that we are eating, which part or which you can say place we are living, majorly dictates what kind of food that we are eating. For example, if we go to the south of India, we will see that because of more and more rice production, we find that many kind of food that they are eating in South India are mostly dependent on the rice. For example, idli is a very good example, because idli is made up of rice. So we see how different area that a person is living in dictates the kind of food that the person is eating. Then again, you have honeybee. This is an example where the food is obtained from an insect, right? Honey is used as a food as well as it is used as your medicine. So apiculture is a process of rearing honeybees at large scale. So the honey is made from the nectar that is collected by the bees, right? And this honey is made from the hives. So whenever you find a beehive, right, so from there you can obtain honey that is being produced by the honey bees, right? So we see how honey is also obtained from the insect. So this is the kind of this is the example where the people are dependent on the insects for their food needs. So in this way we saw that how animal products and plant products serve as food, and what are the different kind of animals that we use for different variety of food, and what are the different parts of a particular plant that we are eating as food. I hope you were able to understand this concept.